The first date of a couple is the foundation of success in the marriage. Good morning, Sabahul Khair, bonjour, Kwalafia, Ekaro, Daswa, Mimamachi, Ansuma. Welcome to another episode. And today we're going to page 2 of the paper called The Punch. I showed it in my last video, but I think it's wise to always show it in every episode. The Punch. And there is an interesting place here. We haven't gotten there yet, but I'll still show it before we finally get there. This is it. You can see the punch. You can see like a boxer punching an opponent. Okay. So like I said before, we're going to page 2. And it starts with new formula for house cleaning. New formula for house cleaning. That was by Jerry John Rawlings, who toppled the military government and said he was going to do house cleaning and return the rule back to a civilian rule, to a civilian government. I'm sorry. Okay. How does this start? The pervasive, refreshing, healthy air of relief today permeating our hitherto heavily contaminated society, polluted by stinking graft and opulent corruption, at once reveals a nation reborn and charting a new course for a more prosperous tomorrow. This paper seems to support it, and I supported it. Most of us supported it because it was a military man toppling a corrupt military government. So you can see from this long paragraph that there was widespread support for it. Unlike the second one, where he came back in 3 months and pushed away the civilian government that came to place against everybody's wish. And the nation was silent. Nobody liked it. Okay, let's go on. The forlorn cry only yesterday that all hope was lost due to the avarice of self-proclaimed military saviors has happily been replaced with justifiable optimism for the future. Yes, paragraph. Confidence in the goodness of the Ghanaian character, severely blistered in the past, has also been considerably restored. It is well and good that ultimate salvation of the national character should come from the ranks of the same men who, wielding the power of the gun, turned it inwards to economically enslave Ghanaians. Paragraph. The AFRC, with only a paltry 1.5 months in office, appears to have excelled tremendously the achievements of all 3 despicable military regimes who ruled this country put together for the past most regrettable 7 years. Significantly, this happy turn of events has come at the appropriate, opportune time to salvage and restore the sunken, battered image of the army, which came to be regarded mainly as an institution of predators whose sole record of achievement was that they succeeded in causing appreciable economic terrorism of unprecedented scale on the people they came to save. Little wonder that all were Little wonder that all well-meaning Ghanaians, impressed by sincerity and deep sense of mission of the AFRC, now walk the streets chest out, proud once more as Ghanaians who have been given a new lease of life and freed from a terrible nightmare. I think the paper was too fast. Mhm. The paper was too fast to praise the regime. I think so. We'll see what happens later as we go on. Mhm. Okay. The lingering fear of most Ghanaians, however, is that they do not know what their fate would be after the military return to barracks. With the democracy, the place is torn, place, but I'm trying to fix my own words. You can see the place is torn. Uh, their fate would a military regime return to barracks. With the democracy, something, I don't know, to the turn with the withdrawal to barracks, pardon me, let us fix our own words there, please. Okay. Then, will the incoming government relying so much on people? Oh my God. Let me see. Relying so much on popular, I don't know if it's popular or unpopular, but have stamina and courage to for reaching decisions? It's a question. Pardon me, viewers. I'm determined to let people know what used to happen in those days, and that's why I should have discarded this paper, but I think we still make something out of it. See? Of course, it's very reassuring, that Dr. Hilary Mann, that Dr. Hillman, that Dr. Hilary Mann, President-elect, President-elect has preserved faith and confidence in and commitment to the commitment to the inherent house cleaning exercise. Pardon me. I believe viewers will try to, as much as possible, to make a meaning out of it. House cleaning exercise. Okay. It's also well and good that he himself has recognized the fact that the exercise be a continuous process which must not to a specific period of time. I think they were suggesting that this exercise should continue. Okay, then this also spoiled. Let me see. Okay, let's go to the next paragraph. We can't read the Arab words well. Okay, we seriously associate ourselves. We seriously associate ourselves with that honest view. Now, I'm fixing my own words. With that honest view, and as a result, if that sense of optimism, then it seems, the and sensible thing to do now is innovate formula or mechanism, framework of the Constitution. Such continuous prosecution of prosecution of the national whitewashing effort, while at the same time civil rule proceeds efficiently uninterrupted. Okay. Paragraph. It is our considered opinion that such a formula must be independent, fair, impartial, just, and free from political interference, preferably under the office of the ombudsman, with definite investigative authority to subpoena and arrest economic saboteurs, but leaving final prosecution to the courts of the land, which must be instructed to dispose of the special cases involving corruption referred to them within a period of 2 weeks. I think we finished with the turn parts. Okay. Paragraph. There's a little bit of it anyway. Paragraph. Period of 2 weeks. Paragraph. The basic idea here is that since the military appear to have become more adroit and effective in the exposure of scandals and naked corruption in society, such innovation as we envisage must involve the military intelligence or some other agency with all powers to investigate any persons, ministers of state, industry, chiefs, farmers, bankers, housewives, and even the president himself, making allowance, though for due judicial process of the land to take their course openly in public. In this way, sanity that has begun to perfume the rotten social fabric will not effervesce, with return of soldiers to the barracks, nor recede into forgetfulness with a return to the civilian rule. In this way, sanity that has begun to perfume the rotten social fabric will not effervesce with return of soldiers to the barracks, nor recede into forgetfulness with a return to civilian rule. So that's all for that formula for house cleaning. Let's go to election reflections. Elections reflections. And there is just at the bottom of the paper, you see a cartoon. We'll get to that. This is the part that we read. You can see the torn part that has struggled to reach. Okay. Elections, reflections. It is relevant to refresh our memory with some significant changes in two Commonwealth countries during the course of the year before touching on local situation. In Britain, The Queen had to dissolve Parliament to pave the way for new elections when a vote of no confidence was passed against the Labour government of the former Premier James Callaghan. James Callaghan. We are now going to the British history. Okay. Mrs. Margaret Thatcher, into brackets, the Iron Lady, pardon me, leader of the Conservative Party, won the subsequent elections to become the first woman Prime Minister of Britain, and for that matter, Western Europe. Secondly, Mr. Joe Clark, a virtually unknown political figure before the election in Canada, dealt a big blow to former Premier Pierre Trudeau's 10-year tenure of office. Ghana, however, made a modest departure from the parliamentary system of government where any party that wins half of the seats in the elections forms the next government. As in the above examples, the swinging of the political pendulum in Ghana was manifest. The presidential and parliamentary elections held on June 18th gave proof of the above experience, that June 18th, 1979, gave proof of the above experience. Paragraph. Oh, are we getting to another place? Okay, paragraph. All the new uncompromising politicians lost their mantles, while Dr. Liman, a new commodity on the political scene, shocked his opponent by leading the presidential elections, and his party, the People's National Party, PNP, won a majority of 71 seats in the 140-seat parliament. 71, more than half, that's of the 140 seats parliament. Therefore, the victory of Dr. Liman, a career diplomat and son of the blacksmith farmer from the upper region of Ghana in the second ballot on July 9th as president of the Third Republic, could be likened to the election of Andrew Jackson, a former soldier into brackets, and first to be elected from the Pioneering West as seventh president of the United States, into brackets 1829 to 1837, in defiance of the domination of national government by the older states of the Atlantic seaboard. This parallel has to be drawn in view of the fact that Ghana, like the United States, has a constitution based on John Locke's theory of separation of powers. Okay. The Constitution of the United States provides for three equal and complementary branches of government: the Congress, into brackets, consisting of the Senate and the House of Representatives, brackets close, makes the laws and initiates policy. Then the president executives them. The president executes them on their day-to-day administration, and the Supreme Court interprets or enforces the policies in addition to defending the Constitution. I believe politicians will be interested in this part. The Constitution. Paragraph. The rise, growth, and expansion of an industrial civilization, America's entry into world affairs, the crisis of war and depression would have influenced the presidency if strong, alert, and capable men had not held this high office and shaped events to their ends. Ghana is bewildered with an array of hydra-headed socio-economic problems which affect her political and economic future. Full stop. The armed forces have openly, admittedly, I think it should be the armed forces have openly admitted that they ruined the country and have undertaken to restore human values. Well, that's our feeling. That's our feeling at that time. Restore human values. Okay. Paragraph. For far too long, Ghanaians have suffered untold hardships and social injustices. There is, there is considerable debate on indiscipline, moral probity, and public accountability. These things have happened even where Rawlings was in power. Okay. The nation has to regain its lost image and astride all these problems. A shattered economy, how is this one? After losing, after a shattered economy, the word is after losing an economic war under a military regime promising redemption. Yes, the Champion government said he was coming to redeem us from our troubles. So after promising redemption, National Redemption Council, that was this government. Paragraph. If, therefore, what happened on June 4th was a national reaction to the unjustifiable hardships suffered by the people, any successes achieved by the proclamation of the armed revolution of the armed revolutionary council. It has not fixed the forces there. Okay, let me fix it. Of the Armed Forces Revolutionary Council, AFRC, must be increased, if not maintained. Paragraph. This would, however, call for the concerted effort of every Ghanaian. You are either part of the problem or part of the solution. There is no midway. It might not be it might not be too early to predict the standing of Dr. Liman and government of the People's National Party in the annals of history. Full stop. Even though they have not been sworn into office, Dr. Liman has pledged to continue the house cleaning exercise embarked on by the AFRC. And indeed, he did, even though there were impediments in his own party, basically by his Vice President Dr. De Graaf Johnson. Mm. Okay. A second assurance is to respect and uphold the, the letter and spirit of the Constitution. Pardon me, some of the words are erased, the top parts of the Constitution. As an expert on constitutional law and with a deep sense of him, with a deep sense of humility, he should convince Ghanaians that the presidency is a democratic rather than an aristocratic instrument of government and a, and a mistrust of executive power. Full stop. Posterity would not forgive that soldier who wielded power by the barrel of the gun, lost his sense of natural justice, comma, who whilst, into brackets, who whilst a constituent assembly was deliberating over a draft constitution for the country, brackets close, arbitrarily enacted a decree to disqualify some Ghanaians from holding public office for life. Okay, and a military man is still a military man. Rollins will show his military manship here after this. Mm. He showed it actually. Okay. Office for life. Further, he amended it stipulating that for a presidential candidate to be elected, he has to obtain 50% of valid votes cast, and in event of no candidate getting that percentage, a second ballot should decide the winner, but woefully failed to create the most congenital climate. I think this is referring to the regime that Rollins toppled. I think so. Okay. Okay. With the exercise of two great parties and a sophisticated society in America, a presidential candidate, be the Republican or Democrat, can make 60% of the votes polled as required by law. Ghana's situation is different because we have a multitude of parties. So if these parties, which were able to register 140 candidates, had been disallowed from contesting the election, the dissipation of the dissipation of our the dissipation the dissipation I'm sorry the dissipation of our scarce resources in pursuit of wasteful second ballot would have been avoided. Paragraph. We must have realized by now how expensive it is to adapt foreign concepts blindly. Selfish ambitions also goaded some of our politicians to distort universally accepted principles of government to suit their caprices. Goaded here is spelled Goaded. Goaded. The selfish ambitions also goaded some of our. Okay. Paragraph. It was so easy to forget the importance of party politics for the operation of the complicated machinery of legislation. Full stop. This fact cannot be denied. This fact cannot be denied that in America, that in American politics, the president is nominated by one of the two parties, and men of his own political faith look for him for guidance, inspiration, support. For guidance, inspiration, support, and what is it? Inspiration, support? Okay, let me read what I see. For guidance, inspiration, support, and he is a vital force in the legislative process. Paragraph. Even if all the political parties had abandoned the idea of formation of presidential commission, the runner-up in the second ballot should have accepted the results of the elections held on June 18th as the people's choice, and being aware of the perilous state of the economy saved the nation millions of cedis. To concede defeat at the 11th hour when the results were crystal clear is ungrateful face-saving set. So it's an ungrateful face-saving act for the Constitution. It's an ungrateful face-saving act, for the Constitution. Gave a runner-up the option to withdraw from the elections anytime before the date of the second ballot. In other words, if the contest was tight and you see that you are not good when you had the right to withdraw. Let me repeat that. For the Constitution gave a runner-up the option to withdraw from the elections anytime before the date of the second ballot. The Constitution should be amended to curb such wasteful adventures in the name of democracy. Let's go to our last story. The next story is hypocrisy of the West. Here is it. Hypocrisy of the West. It's not from my mouth, please, before we go to the cartoon. Hypocrisy of the West. Along with the continuing publicity of equal partnership with the developing countries in recent years, the West has again taken up the subject of aid to the young states as one of the important means to solve some problems facing the world. In a special article on relations between the North and South, the West organ of the organ of Western German business circles wrote late in 1978 on the need of Marshall Plan for the Third World. That's for us, not the Western world, not the Eastern world. Okay. Andrew Young, Carter administration's expert on developing countries, speaks on the same lines. At a press conference in Abidjan, he said that a sort of Marshall Plan would be an answer to African problems. Indeed, the influx of means, indeed, the influx of means from the developed, from the developed, from the developed question, from the has something been left out? I think something has been left out. I think something has been left out, but let me read what I see. Let me repeat it. At a press conference in Abidjan, he said that a part of Marshall Plan would be an answer to African problems instead of influx of means from the developed question in title of the article won't seem so rhetorical. Something is missing, but I can't find it. It's not there. Okay. Maybe those who are smart enough can see. It doesn't continue well. This is it. You can see here means from the developed, and then from there we come to terms. Then from the developed question, in the title of the article won't seem so rhetorical. Well, I don't know. Okay, let's go on. Paragraph. Though the advanced countries now practice in considerable lesser degree states okay, let me read on, please. I'm reading what I see, US. Though the advanced countries now practice in considerably lesser degree stays into the developing countries in the form of loans and credits granted along the channels of the state and international financial organizations has increased from $6,000 million in 1967 to $17,200 million in 1976. And moreover, there is a tendency towards its further growth. Paragraph. In so doing, Western creditors are trying to show that they improve the terms of granting credits and, in some cases, somewhat reduce the rates of interest. Then, it means that the sums lent by the Western powers are returning to the safes of major monopolies of these powers. That's the end. Okay, let's see this cartoon. AFSC, continue the good work. It's a shame. At that time, university students supported him very much. It's not a shame. I think they believed in him too much. They believed in the AFSC too much until after he had finished all the soldiers who he considered his enemies, that he then showed his true character. And here it is. Now, get this. It will cure you from all those unwanted parasites. So this is a man pushing a bullet like a needle into the buttocks of I don't know if it's a lawyer or pressman. I don't know. Look at the head. I don't know. So you see the gun against the buttock of the man and pressing it like a needle. And the man is shouting, "Oh!" It happened practically. Oh! And then here he's vomiting. He's vomiting. Maybe he worms. That's it. And then this is Roland standing with a hammer and his soldier's cap. And what is he saying? And he's saying, give him a larger dose. The fat ones are now coming out. So that's Rollins with the hammer. And he's telling the soldier behind to push the gun needle deep. And that it should give him that the fat worms are now coming out. That's a cartoon. AFRC, continue the good work. So, you see, the trouble is with the Ghanaian. The thing is, Imoro Igala of the CPP was to stand for elections. Ghanaians had the way to disqualify him by saying that he was too old, 69. Akufo-Addo was 72, but they allowed him. But they said, no, 69, he's too old. And he had fought a lot for the party, PNP. He got very angry. Then he went for his nephew in France, Dr. Hilary Liman. Understand he was a lecturer there, living comfortably, and brought him to Ghana to stand for elections, and he won massively. You can see from the paper, 71%. But this angered people within the party that they should be in Ghana here not getting the position. But they caused it. You prevented Imoro Igala from standing based on his age, 69. He said, if I won't stand, you won't stand either. He brought his nation to come and stand. And that was the beginning of trouble. He won. And they said they wouldn't give him a chance at all. Like I said, the main character being his vice, Dr. De Graaf Johnson, saying his own things on the press. I remember one of his papers he came. Maybe we'll get to this sometime. He says, we know where we are going. We know how to get there, and we shall get there. It featured prominently on the front page. You see, meanwhile, he was not supportive of Hilary Liman because he's a new man, apparently because he's a new man coming into the party to seize the position from him. You see? And so then when we come to Rawlings, he also said he was going to do house cleaning and handover. He didn't. And all those crimes that he fought for, that he was given from this cartoon, gun injections, they were even worse when he ate well and got fed up and got fed, well fed. Like my senior brother said, that when he feeds himself well, that's when we see his true character. He punished Ghanaians a lot. The soldiers beat Ghanaians. Things that I shouldn't mention, but I will. There is a soldier vehicle called a bongo lorry, big one like that, big one. He collected women who he said were corrupt, the soldiers, packed them inside that big lorry. They couldn't come out. They were there for days. How did they bath? How did they clean themselves? How did they go to private? So, pardon me to say, they were shitting inside the bongo lorry. I'm telling you, and urinating inside, like animals, soldiers, like animals. And anytime the lorry was passing by a street in town, people will hold their noses because it's smelling of shit and urine and women. Then he'll bring the same women out to come and sweep naked. They bend down, be sweeping naked, and people were looking at them from the back. That's what Rawlings people did. He knew it. Amidst beatings. After that, during his regime, we saw a lot of things. That was then when we saw real indiscipline. Teachers could go to school and beat, parents could go to school and beat teachers for disciplining their children. People could people tore letters from the post office and remove the contents. If it's money, they remove, essentially remove. They did a whole lot of despicable things. These soldiers went and raped the girlfriends of their superiors, who were all university graduates. These grassroots soldiers, they get you are the girlfriend of a military man, they get you alone in the house. They don't care in what state you are, whether you are trying to bath or you are trying to go to ease yourself, they will fall on you one after the other. They did that until some, pardon me to say, defecated on themselves. I want people to know what happened. Yes, it happened. Some ran to Britain. These ladies, they are superiors, they are colonels. The superiors of the soldiers had to pamper them before having sex with them. And they give them chance to do whatever they want to do. If they want to go to the bathroom and clear themselves, they go and come. You just came like that, met them, and started. When this one finished, this one goes. They lay on them like that until they defecated one after the other. I can't mention all. Dr. de Graaf Johnson, we had it. It leaked out from the army. They took him to farm, to the bush to farm. And you know what happened? They stripped him stark naked, totally naked, Dr. de Graaf Johnson, and asked him to farm. I mean, beaten. So he was farming, and the private parts were dangling like that. Oh, my God. Ajampon didn't do that. General Akufo didn't do that. And he, Rollins, the wife, was slapping soldiers. You won't believe it. It leaked out. Yes, he was slapping soldiers. She was slapping soldiers. Anytime she was moving to Accra, to Tamale, she would take her own soldiers. And the Tamale soldiers, he didn't respect them. He was slapping them. A woman, it had never happened in the history of Ghana. No way. No way. All the wives of Rollins' superiors were left in the house. They didn't have any say. And this man came and killed all of them mercilessly. There was one general called General Kote. When he was waiting for death, he was running. Small, he says he wants to go to the toilet. Pardon me to use. Small, he was afraid. Yet he killed him, finished him. Unless he doesn't see you as an enemy, whether you did evil or not, you have to support him. You can see the paper said, either you are with us or you are against us. Either you are with us or you are against us. So you are an army man, you have to come and accept him. To embrace him, his policies, everything. And nobody in Ghana here at that time, nobody could call the name Jerry John Rollins or just Rollins. Everybody was tight-lipped. You call the name Rollins, somebody will hold you, take you out to be slaughtered. Anytime they caught people, he imposed curfew in the country for a long time. And he varied the time. Usually, he started at, I think, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And anybody who was caught breaking the curfew hours, he will be taken somewhere. Do you know the work they used to do? They used to carry dead bodies. They were killing people like rats. I tell you, the elder people know it. He killed people. I remember the late president of America, Ronald Reagan. What did he say about Ghanaians? He said, 40 million cowards being ruled by a bastard. He was fed up. He didn't see any reason why Ghanaians should be there, and this bastard, according to him, it's true, this bastard should be treating us like that. To the extent that his wife was slapping not ordinary men, but soldiers. And this is the man being praised all of the time by people. Some people just keep quiet. Some of us just keep quiet and lament. But these are the things that happen. And you can find out. We had people, friends, old friends, schoolmates in the military. I can refer you to one. He's still alive. W.O. Sedu. Sedu Bawa. He's still alive. For no reason, he was arrested, chained in the hands and then the legs. He couldn't walk. He became bushy. The whole you wouldn't recognize him. He was not the only one who put him to. Why? What did he do? Nothing. He was just lucky that some elders knew him and said people were praying for him and people were trying to intervene so that he wouldn't be killed. And finally, he came out. He's still alive today and he can bear witness to what I'm saying. He was a soldier and he saw it. Other soldiers were just killed. If you are seen not to be with him, you will be killed. No two ways about that. He seized people's guns, the whole country. Everybody should take their guns to the police station, and everybody did. So that he wouldn't be killed. So that he wouldn't be killed. My father took his gun there, very nice gun. Then when he went to college, they gave him some nasty, useless gun. Oh my God. We can't say everything today. I have to stop here till we meet again. Bye-bye. Au revoir.